All right, guys. Base Muslim, aka Base Fula, coming to you with another video. Again, I'm the one that modern women love to hate. I'm the one that liberal, progressive Muslims love to hate, and liberal, progressive non-Muslims love to hate. I'm the one that modern women love to hate. I'm the one that these Pan-African, pro-black, slow step, hotep, no tep people love to hate as well. But anyhow, um, shout outs to Black Mind first and foremost because I didn't know. I'm glad to see that he's behind this SYSMB movement. Now I don't know if it's going to catch fire like that, but it's just giving the ideas to brothers that your your trump card exists overseas, and as you need to play it when you can. Basically, that's basically it. You know. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and dissect something that may take longer than 20 minutes to dissect. I know my videos, I try to keep my videos under 20. Sometimes I go above 20, but this one is going to take a little while. So I'm going to read this hadith, and then I'm going to go into the hadith and explain the significance it has to us as Muslims and us who are on the same page in terms of traveling abroad to not only maybe get married and have the traditional women, which Islam basically advocates for. The thing is what these Muslim women try to do before I get started is they try to use Khadijah, who, may Allah be pleased with her, was a businesswoman. However, when she married the Prophet, alayhi salatu salam, guaranteed she was not snapping her fingers, shaking her neck, and giving him a hard time for being a business woman. But she was tender, nurturing, and caring, so much so that he used to talk about her after her unfortunate passing. May Allah be pleased with her. As a matter of fact, she has been exalted over other women. And now you would think that with her status in society as a businesswoman, this would get to her head and gas her up, but it did not. Nowadays, you guys get degrees and it gasses you up, so don't compare what you're doing to what Khadijah is doing. Please don't do that. Please do not do that. You're fighting a losing battle in doing that. Now, I'm going to read the hadith, and it basically goes, and then I'll translate it to English as well. حدثنا عبد الرحمن ابن إبراهيم ويعقوب ابن حميد ابن كسيب وسعد ابن سعيد قالوا حدثنا مروان ابن معاوية or معاوية فزاره حدثنا يزيد ابن كسانة أن أبي حزم عن أبي هريرة قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بعد إسلام غريبا وسيعود غريبا فطوبى لغربا. And what that hadith means is that Islam was once strange when it began. It will one day be strange again. Blessed are the Ghuraba. Now, the thing is and I'm by no way trying to say I'm pious or I'm this or that. I'm not in any way trying to pump myself up. But I understand the pitfalls of Western culture and what Western culture encourages and what Western culture encourages men to do, which will make them end up in a bad place. Okay? When you want to stick with the right way, aka Islam, you are going to be looked at as strange. Now, I want to say a couple of things that was unknowing to people, but now you're going to know them. And this is kind of sidetracking from the Islam, but we'll make it full circle soon. But the late great Nipsey Hussle made a song called "No Nigga Like Me," and he meant every word when he made that song. Now, I want to also mention something about him making that song. I actually heard the song before he put it on the mixtape. And I said, yeah, you got to put that song on the mixtape. You know, you got to put that song on there. You know what I mean? The thing is about him is he was exposed to Islam. He was exposed to Islam via his father's country of origin, which is Eritrea. And, you know, due to that exposure, it had a profound effect on him, despite the fact that, you know, his family is, for the most part, Orthodox Christian. For what needs to be said is that Eritrea is I want to say Eritrea is 50% Muslim, 50% Christian. And, you know, they found a way to coexist, and you have a lot of intermarriages and the like thereof. Now, when it comes to this term, Goraba, I want to say that it can relate to a lot of us, but it has many different meanings. That's the thing. This term has a lot of different meanings because the Arabic language is so vast that you have these different meanings. But let's go ahead and dissect some of these meanings and go into it on how it should be, how it should basically be dissected. Now, one way of describing it is one way of describing it is something like, in a way, that is kind of like an immigrant, because it can mean something physical in nature, like someone who lives in another person's country, you know. Therefore, he would be considered a stranger, right? But it also has the deeper spiritual meaning, which is meaning that someone who keeps firmly on the religion and avoiding the tribulations that arise. I want to say something. Islam is old school. You know, it has old school rules. You know, and the old school rules go against the grain, you know what I mean, of this current society. And when Islam expanded, the ingenuity and the creativity of the Muslims expanded too. The Muslims found the most success when they stuck to the old school rules, right? Not bringing these new ideas in. Now, So basically, it says here that, Islam people started converting, and it spread, and people showed themselves, and then experiences a decrease in various predicaments until there is none left except the person per person. The purists among them are keeping up with al haq, the truth, just as the condition when it first began. So you look at the current situation we're in right now with modern women, and this also includes women from Western countries, meaning Muslim women from Western countries. You look at those current situations with the women there, and you have to ask yourself, are they keeping up with the haq? Are they keeping up with the truth in which it was once given? We have to really sit back, examine, and see if that really is the case with them, And I can say that really is not the case with them. I can honestly say that because of liberalism, progressive Muslim stuff, Muslims saying, "Oh, you need a new tafsir," and all this other stuff, then they're lost in the sauce. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. So with that being said, there's another meaning with that. Some say that there's the in the hadith it says fatuba lil goraba, blessed are the goraba, those strange people. So I mean, you have to look at the situation in which you find yourself in. Yes, it may feel like you're missing a lot of fun when you decide not to be part of a woman's mandatory rooster carousel, which creates the risk of her actually pinning kids on you that aren't yours, and just dealing with those women, right? Yeah, it is something that you kind of what I mean. Let's be honest, we're men at the end of the day. We're still going, if you're a heterosexual man, you're still going to have those desires. We understand that. And I would be lying if I said I didn't have those desires, but I know that in this case, the risk outweighs the reward. And in traveling back home to my home country, or one of the areas that is predominantly of the faith that I adhere to, that reward will furthermore outweigh the risk. That's what needs to be said. So, with this being said, right, we can dissect this, and we can say, let's just say, just give me a minute. I'm just looking through some stuff. But we can say that, there's a lot of different meanings for that. One of the meanings is how good is what they achieved. One of them is actually, goodness as well as honor for them. And when you look at the situation, when you stand on your square, right? Other people are going to be against it. Mostly the chimpanzees, mostly the modern women, mostly everybody who does not want to see you happy or wants to see you sane. You know, I honestly believe since modern women are so far gone, they want to see you far gone as well. For whatever reason, they just want it. So they just figure, hey, you know, I'm doing bad, so I might as well take some people with me. You know what I mean? That's how I look at that situation, right? Um, so with that being said, right, you will be alienated, right? There are conditions that your condition, right? If you're on this path, if you're on the SYSMB path, if you're on the SYSBM path, if you're on the Passport Bro path, if you're on any of these paths, basically you're challenging what is prevalent in the society at this time, in Western society. And we already know what's prevalent in Western society. I don't need to name it. I mean, there's the epidemic of debauchery, misandry, and the like thereof. You know, corruption, truth seen as falsehood. That's why you hear women saying things like, "Oh, you know, my body count doesn't matter," and things like that. Okay, so you already know what you're up against, right? Um, so another thing is too is taking like the right role models, taking the right people to find influence from. You ask the Muslim women of this country who do they like to take influence from, and they'll name Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and the like thereof. Versus, you who may have some figures that may not be Muslim, but pretty much what they teach or what their message is, it lines up with the Islamic faith. And you may have those Muslim role models as well in your in your in your program. Now, I want to say this. I want to say something, and then I'll probably wrap this video up. Um, the thing is that our righteousness is not going to be shown by our words, but it's going to be shown by our actions. So the action of not paying attention to these females, ignoring these females, not giving them the time of day, cutting them off, and leaving this marriage market and dating market and going to a place where there's no need for a marriage or dating market, because of the simple fact people are just getting married and they don't need to go through hoops. They just pretty much need to sign, seal, and deliver, and you're going to be married and you're going to get the cooperation you desire. um just just understand that you're on the truth. Basically, you'll be basically on the truth. All right. So now I want to say something else. The thing is that, and this is sad, and I'm experiencing this firsthand. I'm definitely experiencing this firsthand, but I've learned to adjust and I've learned to understand why I'm experiencing it. Um, but it will make, like, you doing what you're trying to do, whatever your movement is, whatever movement you decide is going to be suitable for what it is that you're after. It's going to be it's going to basically seem like the world is going to be against you in the movement. You know what I mean? So what I mean by that is people are going to be frowning at you. People are going to have fake smiles at you simply because they're not bold enough to try to do it themselves. Simply because maybe this information reached them late. Simply because they've been conditioned by the gynocentric conundrum we're living in right now, and they're convinced that there is no better options for them. Now, with that being said, I'm going to leave with one quote. If you want to recognize in which direction the most righteous among the Muslims are, then see in which directions the arrows of Kufar are going. So what that means in essence is that, my TikTok has now been reopened after it got banned because the arrows of getting me blocked were shot at me. And with that being said, I hate to say it, and I'm going to end on this note. If I have modern Western women against me, if I have westernized women against me, if I have liberal progressive Muslims against me, if I have the Hotep, Slotep, no steps, and Pan-Africanists against me, who just scam people and really don't have any intention on doing the right thing, right? If I have BLM against me, and if I have liberals against me, and in a lot of cases conservatives against me, I know I'm doing the right thing. That's how I know that I'm on the right track. But if I have foreign women and also foreign men who haven't been westernized or bought into the sauce with me, I know I'm on the right track as well. But with that being said, I'm going to end this by saying, you have to stay strange and stay hungry. Fula signing out. Unjarama.